Javad Alikordi, a lawyer and the brother of the late Khosro Alikordi, was arrested by security forces in Mashhad. Mr. Alikordi was arrested at his workplace in Mashhad by security agents and transferred to an unknown location. So far, no official information has been released regarding his place of detention or the possible charges against him. The arrest took place hours after Javad Alikordi explained details of his brother's memorial ceremony during a live Instagram broadcast. In that conversation, he stated that security forces had stormed the ceremony, assaulted a number of citizens and civil activists, and arrested several people. According to Mr. Alikordi, security agents used batons and tear gas during the crackdown to arrest and disperse participants, an issue that sparked widespread reactions and concern on social media. Furthermore, Javad Alikordi, the brother of the late Khosro Alikordi, has shared a video on his Instagram account in which his young niece is holding a picture of her deceased father. Addressing his niece, Mr. Alikordi wrote, "My strong girl, your father was proud of you today." During the memorial ceremony for the late Khosro Alikordi in Mashhad, when Narges, Mohammadi and Sepideh Qolian attempted to give a speech, attendees expressed their opposition to their presence by chanting slogans such as "Death to the three corrupt, the Mullah, the Leftists, the Mojahed, this is the final battle, Pahlavi will return, long live the Shah, King Reza Pahlavi." Marzieh Adinezadeh, the daughter of Ali Adinezadeh, announced on her X account that her father and a number of other citizens were arrested during the 7th-day memorial ceremony for the late Khosro Alikordi and expressed serious concern about his physical condition. According to her, her father briefly contacted the family and said that around 40 people had been arrested at the ceremony and that he, along with several others, was being transferred to Vakilabad prison in Mashhad. In the same call, Ali Adinezadeh confirmed that he was beaten at the time of his arrest. According to these sources, during the assault the officers threatened him, stating, "This time we know what to do with the Adinezadeh family." On Friday, December 12th, attendees at the mosque hosting the memorial for the late lawyer Khosro Alikordi chanted, "Long live the Shah, long live Iran." Women in the mosque section broke into chants of "Long live the Shah" during the memorial for the late Khosro Alikordi. The participants at the memorial ceremony for the late attorney Khosro Alikordi chanted, "The Shah is returning home. Zahhak is being overthrown." Those present at the memorial ceremony for the late attorney Khosro Alikordi chanted the slogan, "Crown Prince, where are you? Come to our aid." During the memorial for the late Khosro Alikordi in Mashhad, monarchist activist Haidar Chamandi was brutally beaten and arrested by security forces. After clashing with regime suppressors, he stood bloodied and recited verses from the Shahnameh, the Epic of Kings. He is currently being held at the IRGC Intelligence Detention Center. Another video from the memorial ceremony for the late Khosro Alikordi in Mashhad has been shared, showing citizens courageously chanting "Javid Shah, long live the Shah" in the face of the Islamic Republic's security forces. Ebrahim Jabbari, advisor to the commander of the IRGC designated as a terrorist organization, stated in an interview on that following the 12-day war between Israel and the Islamic Republic, 123 monarchist activists, whom he described as leading members of the so-called Javidan Guard, have been arrested. These remarks come amid months of numerous reports that increased security pressure on monarchists inside the country. Additionally, several cases of suspicious deaths among well-known monarchist activists have raised further concerns about an escalation in the state's security crackdown. Mohammad Javad Wafai Sani, a political prisoner sentenced to death, was taken out of the general ward of Vakilabad prison in Mashhad and transferred to solitary confinement for unknown reasons, an action that has heightened the concerns of his family and relatives regarding his physical condition and safety. This transfer was carried out without any clear explanation from prison authorities, and so far no official information has been provided about the reason for this decision. A source close to Mr. Wafai Sani's family confirmed the news, saying his sudden transfer to solitary confinement, especially given his death sentence, has created serious concerns about his condition and fate. Mohammad Javad Wafai Sani is a well-known political prisoner in Mashhad and in recent years has faced a death sentence in a security-related case. Transferring prisoners sentenced to death to solitary confinement is typically met with significant sensitivity and worry, particularly when the reason for the move is unclear and communication or access to information becomes restricted. The family of this political prisoner has called for an immediate and transparent explanation regarding his situation. Ali Sharifzadeh Ardakani, the defense attorney for Reza Mohammad Hosseini, a monarchist political prisoner held in Qazal Hazar prison in Karaj, reported the sudden transfer of his client to an unknown location. Sharing a message on the X platform, he stated that the lack of clear information about the prisoner's whereabouts and the cutoff of all communication have heightened concerns for both the family and the lawyer. Reza Mohammad Hosseini was transferred from Qazal Hazar prison to an undisclosed location, and no contact has been made by him since. Mr. Sharifzadeh emphasized the necessary conditions for establishing communication and providing transparent information must be ensured immediately. This political prisoner faced a new fabricated case inside the prison earlier this month. The related hearing was held in Branch 13 of the Karaj prosecutor's office via video conference and without access to his chosen attorney. The unknown location of his detention and the denial of basic rights have increased concerns about his health and safety. Manucher Bakhtiari, the father of Puya Bakhtiari, one of those killed during the nationwide protests of 2019, once again expressed concern about the condition of his brother Mehdad Bakhtiari by sharing a photo on Instagram. He emphasized that Mehdad has been held in prison for more than a year and a half under a no-visitation order and is only allowed a few minutes of short phone calls 3 days a week. In his post, Manucher Bakhtiari described his brother's perseverance as standing firm for Iran and wrote, "Keeping the memory of political prisoners alive is just as essential and principled as remembering our compatriots. Political prisoners jailed for seeking justice, accountability, freedom, and human dignity are the living champions of this land." The father of Puya Bakhtiari concluded his message by writing, "For the people, the media, and every freedom-loving voice to stand beside the prisoners whom the regime tries to silence through imprisonment is the duty of every free human being. With all my strength, I demand the release of my brother, Mehdad Bakhtiari, and I call on all freedom seekers to be the voice of Mehdad and all political prisoners. Our silence is their desire, our steadfastness is Iran's hope." Shabnam Hossein-Zadeh, the wife of Amir Hossein Mousavi, a political prisoner held in Evin, has been sentenced by Branch 15 of the Tehran Revolutionary Court to 5 years in prison. The verdict was delivered without prior notice to her lawyer. This sudden notification of the sentence took place while her defense attorney, Reza Shafakha, had not been informed about the proceedings or the timing of the verdict. The court, issuing the ruling in the absence of her lawyer, pressured Mrs. Hosseinzadeh to accept the verdict, an action that violates legal procedure and the defendant's rights to defense. According to available information, Shabnam Hosseinzadeh faced 4 charges: insulting sacred values, assembly inclusion against national security, spreading falsehoods, propaganda against the state. Navid Khoshnazar, a protester from Izeh, was arrested by agents of the Ministry of Intelligence. This arrest comes just 4 days after security forces raided his workplace, a clothing printing workshop in Izeh, and confiscated his mobile phone and laptop. Mr. Khoshnazar had gone to the Izeh intelligence office to follow up on and retrieve his personal belongings, but he was detained on the spot. So far, no official information has been shared regarding his whereabouts, physical condition, or the charges against him, which has increased the concern of his relatives. Navid Khoshnazar had previously been arrested during the birthday gathering held for Hamid Salahshor, one of the victims of Iran's nationwide uprising. He was released 5 days later. His family and relatives are calling for clear and transparent information about his situation. Reports from Vakilabad prison in Mashhad indicate that Abbas Wahidian Shahrudi, writer, civil activist, and one of the signatories of the Statement of the 14, continues to face deprivation of specialized medical care, a situation that, given his deteriorating physical condition, has raised serious concerns about his health. According to information obtained from sources close to his family, Mr. Wahidian Shahrudi suffers from several illnesses, including heart problems, respiratory diseases, psoriasis, which is an autoimmune skin disorder, and high blood pressure. Following worsening respiratory issues and a significant decline in his overall condition, he was transferred to Qaim Hospital in Mashhad. His attending physician deemed specialized tests, including laboratory work and a CT scan, necessary. However, according to informed sources, prison authorities have so far refused to allow these tests to be carried out. Reza Shafakha, a licensed attorney and one of the lawyers active in political and human rights cases, has been summoned to Branch 5 of the Investigations Office of District 16 Prosecutor's Office in Tehran after receiving an official notice. The reason stated for his summons is to address the charge of spreading falsehoods. Mr. Shafakha explained that this case was fabricated against him after he published a critical post on his personal page. He said the post referred to the conduct of an official from the Judiciary Security and Protection Department, an individual who, according to Mr. Shafakha, prevented him from entering a courtroom because he was wearing a tie and blocked him from submitting documents and pursuing his client's case. Mr. Shafakha added that after he filed a legal complaint about his conduct, instead of addressing the behavior of the judicial official, he found himself facing a complaint from the same individual and must now respond to his social media post. Reza Shafakha is a member of the Tehran Bar Association and in recent years has represented numerous political and human rights cases. A group of teachers, workers, and social security retirees, as well as medical sciences and telecommunications employees in Kermanshah, held a protest gathering in front of the Provincial Civil Servants Pension Fund building. Despite the entry routes to the gathering site being blocked, more than 5,000 contract workers of South Pars arrived with a delay but with firm determination and gathered from 9 a.m. in Soleimani Square in Asaluye, forming one of the largest protest assemblies in Iran's oil industry in recent years. welfare organization employees held a protest in front of the Islamic Republic's parliament building to object their very low wages. A group of workers and employees at Pasargad Alloy Steel Complex in Kavar gathered at the factory gate to protest wage discrimination, rising living costs, and unpaid benefits. A group of residents of Khuzestan province held a protest gathering in response to actions taken by various governmental bodies that have caused severe air pollution in the region. A group of contract workers employed in the Macron Steel project went on strike in protest over 3 months of unpaid wages, and the contractors continued broken promises and held a protest gathering in front of their workplace. Farmers in Mojahed gathered to protest the poor quality of agricultural water. According to the farmers, after months of waiting for water to reach their fields, the water that finally arrives is so polluted that its surface is covered with a thick layer of foam and is practically unusable. Despite this, the cooperatives are selling this contaminated water to farmers at an hourly rate of 500,000 tomans. A large group of telecommunications retirees in Tehran, Shiraz, Tabriz, Zanjan, Hamadan, Kermanshah and Kurdistan held a protest gathering. These retirees, who for months have been protesting structural discrimination, the non-payment of full pensions, the violation of their benefits, and the interference of economic institutions affiliated with the Supreme Leader's office, loudly expressed their anger and frustration against the plundering and misappropriation of financial resources.